I want you and that young man to tie that knot. I'm gonna pray for you. And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes.
It's the old
He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped get off the island.
Let me get straight to the business. Yeah. Got them lions in the building. Yeah. Why you lying to the children? Yeah. Why you lying to the children? Yeah. RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been to bed. Man, they know they no contest. Yahuwah, he do the bless. We will not see you tomorrow. Cause you cannot go to thought. All the sons and all the daughters. Standing all with big manotas. But my son, he made me Taurus. On that line, I'm still a Taurus. Karate kicking Chuck Norris, 4-5 on my waist. If he started, will not hesitate to get retarded. Oh lordy, he ain't got a PowerPoint, he forest. He running to the hills like a Philistine. Jihad hitting hamites with the guillotine. Situation turned up with the ratchet team. JJ 7000 to the bait league. Yeah, I know them haters gon' hate me, but he won't debate me. Pistol off safety. He respond, come wake me. If I don't get up, nigga shake me. Really give me up. If he don't show up, then he fake G. I touch down and make these nigga nuts hate me. Dear brother. Ballin' and crawling all the way from H-Time. Let me get straight to the business. Man, them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? You gon' cry, you gon' get it. Me, I'm like a frog, nigga, ribbit. Of course, it's in the spirit. I just got the Porsche, she can steer it. Mito Kata Raw, Shack and Willie. Lamborghini doors, you better not spill it. Mama's high, say I'm more than just a villain. Mama's cry, armed open wide for her children. Suicide, immortalized as the realest, yeah. Death by cop, black suicide. Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Yeah. Why you lying to them children? Yeah. RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I been there. Yeah. Man, they know they no contest. Yeah. Yahuwah, he do the bless. Why didn't take it over? Number one debate league, you heard me? When it's up, it's stuck. I'm stepping on everything, nigga. Metaphorically, of course.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Welcome to the Den. This episode of Lion's Den is brought to you by Common Sense. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. That's right. You see the title, Indigenous Black Man calling out Ankh West for stealing his swag. God damn it. He tired of this mess, and he finally coming out about the chat, and he coming to the platform, tell everybody, and set the record straight. Before I get the Indigenous Black Man on the line, you know what we got to do. We got to introduce the queen of the building, no other than Sister Karima. Go ahead.
Shalom, welcome. Please hit the like if you like the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't did so. Tell a friend.
All right, tell a friend. Tell a friend. Lions Den Universal Debate League is going in. That's right. And like I say, man, a lot of these brothers that's in our community, you know, they plagiarize, they still take credit for somebody else's work. But God dang it, Indigenous Black Man said he been doing this years before these other guys. They taking this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce this brother and let him get it in and let him get it all out. Go ahead, Indigenous. Introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? This is Indigenous Black Man. to straighten out some of the lies being told and show some of the things that, don't get talked about in this community because it doesn't fit others' narrative, And JJ, what was we doing here, brother? Are we gonna show that video or did
Yeah.
Did you
show the video that you got.
Start on Ankh first?
Start.
Because since the name's in the title,
Yeah, good on Ankh.
I can start there.
Yeah, start there,
right.
man. What's going on with you and Ankh, my brother?
Well, I'm just here to straighten out some of his mess. He's not the only one, though. I'm talking about science, and then I'm going to talk about the Bible. So it's not just, it's anybody who goes against the truth. So let's get into it, right?
Okay, so in the
do your yesterdays have a direct effect on your tomorrow? Yes, they do. All right. Now let's get to some of these crazy people who created this setup we're talking about when we're talking about scientific racism. See, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with these devils who create the system, and then we go right along with it.
Now, can I ask you a question about that scientific racism? Well, see, a lot of people in our community, one guy in particular named Sabio Robinson. Shout out to Sabio. He runs around the community and he blames the Bible. He blames the Bible for our enslavement. He said the people that use the Bible the Bible put us in slavery. That Bible alone, that's what did it. And I explained to Sabio, the young brother, I said, well, brother, do you know they also use science as well as part of their racist schemes and racist manipulation? Did you know that? So are you telling me, because you say they use the Bible for racism, so should we also, so he says drop the Bible. So should we drop science as well, Isabel, because they use science as racism as well? When I'm saying that, they use it to push their narrative to say that they are superior than us. George, I think his name is Charles or George Lemaitre. These guys that came up with the taxonomy, calling us great apes, and Charles Darwin. All these guys have come together and confederate against us, to prove their point with their scientific racism. So I say this to say that, Isabio, it's not the Bible that caused racism. It's not science that caused racism. It's the person behind the tools and how they use it.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
Right. Yeah. Don't shoot the actor. Shoot the person who wrote the script.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're gonna get at. But Sabio, he's over there in Garfield's channel. He's drinking too much fermented coconut water or something. Garfield stew peas and all them to teach him how to make little figurines, how to grow clothes and shit. That's his first class in judo clapping Garfield's army. But anyway, let's get to this.
All right.
Johann Friedrich Blumenbach.
Who was that?
17. Johann, Johannn, Friedrich, Fredrich, Blumenbach. All right. It's Blumenbach. Okay. He was born in 1752 to 1840. But before I go any deeper, I want to touch on what you said about slavery. My brother Sabio's lost.
Yeah,
It was the.
I like that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little lost. I love the brother. I love all y'all, man. But like I said, that was the Catholic Church through papal bulls, that put us into slavery. And the one particular pope that did it was Pope Nicholas. I think it's the 5th or 6th, right? And he was the one who took and said, it was okay, but he was also Cesar Borgia's daddy.
Okay.
The white Jesus that we had when we were kids hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
That was Cesar Borgia, that Pope's son, and that's that was on Netflix.
Yeah, the Borgias, right?
I've been talking about this for years before that even came out.
They had a movie called The Borgias, right?
Yeah. Well, it's either a series or a movie.
Yeah, it was a series. Yeah, series.
Yeah. So you could check that out. But he was the one who did that, and then he put the Africans into slavery first. And then in 1493, they created another papal bull stating that they could put the Native Americans in prison. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. But in 1493, he come over here and was given right to enslave the Native Americans. And then we got to remember Portugal and Spain was in that slave trade too, and we have all these companies. I'm not sure if y'all are aware, but the whole east coast of Virginia was named the Virginia Company at one time.
Say that again. The whole east coast of what?
Was named the Virginia Company.
The entire east coast.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because yep. And then you had the French Indian Company. You had different companies that was the boats that had slaves and stuff on them.
Yeah.
And that's these corporations today, same thing, but they're just land-based, but they're still under maritime law. But I don't want to get too far away from what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? But that's basically how we got into slavery, all right? And that was in the 1400s, not too far after the Spanish Inquisition, which created Negro land in Africa.
Spanish Inquisition happened around 1492.
1400s.
1400s? Okay.
Yeah, like 1450, maybe 1460.
Okay.
Somewhere around in there.
So you said 1400, 1450s? Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't too far away from them creating these papal bulls.
Yeah.
And that's right after. That's basically maybe a couple hundred years after they ran the Moors out of Europe, because the Moors was ruling Europe up until like 1100, 1200 AD.
Yeah, they ran it from 700 AD to about what you said.
Yeah.
700, 800.
So we gotta remember that, but I want to get into this scientific racism. I'm gonna get back to that.
All right.
And we're gonna get back to one of the founders, Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. All right. Now he was a German physician, right? And
how you doing? He in that sleep, knocked out.
I'm hearing some background.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Indigenous Black Man. I had a phone call. You still there?
Oh no, I didn't know if y'all could still hear me.
Yeah. We still hear you.
I didn't want any dead air. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But listen, okay, that's now that I know that y'all can hear me, I won't stop talking then.
That's all right.
Okay, Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, 1752 to 1840. It looks like. Let me get my glasses. All right, was a German physician, naturalist, physiologist, and anthropologist. He is considered to be a main founder. Did you hear that? He is considered to be a main founder of zoology and anthropology.
Okay.
As comparative scientific disciplines.
Right.
You understand? Man, go ahead. That's bullshit. He was also important as a race theorist. Okay. Now let's hear a quote from this fellow.
All right.
On the Caucasian variety, I have taken the name of this variety from Mount Caucasus, both because of its neighborhood, and especially the southern slope produces the most beautiful race of men.
And this is a live replay, everybody. Just so y'all know, I see people in the audience asking I got the brother on the phone. He's going through it, and then we're going to show his presentation. Shout out to Outside the Cube. Hey,
I'm again because I don't think you hit right.
Yeah.
On the Caucasian variety I have taken, so he's telling you he has taken the name Caucasian.
You're right.
And, I mean, he took the name Cauc from Mount Caucasus and added Asian. He created that, too. Caucasian. From the Caucasus Mountains, you know, just took the Cauc and added Asian. Okay? On the Caucasian variety, I have taken the name of this variety from Mount Caucasus, both because of its neighborhood and especially the southern slope produces the most beautiful race of men. This is a man talking.
Right. The hell wrong with
Let
it?
this fruit booty define you. I mean, the Georgian, because of all the physiological reasons converge to this. You know what physiological reasons means, JJ?
No, teach me.
Knees, toes, elbows, and buttholes.
Ah, come
That's
on.
what it means.
That was
Yeah, and because all the physiological reasons converge to this. Besides, it is white in color, which we may fairly assume to be the primitive color of mankind, since it is very easy to degenerate into brown, but much more difficult for dark to become white.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey.
Hey, when you ever seen white people have a black baby?
Right.
Two white people.
Never.
He lying his ass off. It's easy for a black to degenerate into white.
If that white man, woman, baby come out black, she been cheating. The milkman been over. God dang it. Come on, man.
That's right. See, now that's what we're dealing with. You know.
Wait a minute. So this is how old is this science right here, family? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Now when I said he was also important as a race theorist, right? He was the one who split manhood, men, or the groups of men when he grouped us up into different groups. He called it the Black Europeans, you know, Mongols in Asia, but he put us on, you know, he put them, made the first class system too. He was the one who created the first class of whites. He put the whites in the first class.
Okay.
That was that man. Okay. And he built that pyramid, put us on the bottom, put the people of color on the bottom.
Right.
See, so
wow.
And that is one of your founders right there.
So, okay, now this is one of the founders of scientific racism. What's this guy's name again, so I can throw it in their face?
It is Johann, Johann.
Yeah.
Frederick, Fredrich.
Yeah.
Blumenbach, Blumenbach.
Frederick Blumenbach, y'all. Remember that name? I didn't catch that first one. What was that first name again? I know I can remember Frederick. Johann. Hold up. Let me write that down. Johann Frederick Blumenbach. All right, Blumenbach.
If you feel like pulling it up, then you could, look at it yourself. You know what I mean? As
I
go along and pull up the name or whatever. But he was, he was the one who did all that. Okay, and then after him, comes Malthus, right? Now he's a eugenist.
Wait. Is it Johann Sebastian Bach?
No.
That's some other guys. All right, Johann. Just make sure you got it right.
Frederick.
Yeah, Frederick.
Blumen, Blume.
Okay, wait. Let me get that. Okay, BL what? Okay, there you go. He got like a little feathered shirt on. Yeah, I see him.
He a little fruit booty.
Yeah, he got them little, dressed like, I see him. Got like a bouffant blowback, you know what I'm saying? Got the hair blowed back in a bouffant. Okay. He's considered to be the main founder of zoology and anthropology, ladies and gentlemen, as compared to scientific disciplines. He was one of the first.
Scientific discipline. Now,
Yeah.
Come on now.
What is that?
You know that ain't no damn scientific discipline. That's some bullshit.
Right. Let me
Okay.
see what else he just got and did. You see, he was one of the first to explore the study of human beings as an aspect of natural history. His teaching in a comparative anatomy was applied to the classification of human race. Now let's start right there.
Hold on.
Start right there.
He also created that cranial bullshit.
Oh, that was him?
Yep. Keep on reading.
Okay. It says, okay. Let's see where we're at. Classification of human races, in which he claimed that there were 5: Caucasian, Mongolian, Malayan, Ethiopian, and American. He was a member of what's been.
They was calling us Ethiopians. They was calling black people Ethiopians. Keep going.
Yep. He was a member of what modern historians call the Gothian School of History.
Got you.
Okay, yeah, Gottingen. Bloomberg's peers considered him one of the most greatest theorists of his day. And he was a mentor and influenced many of the next generation of races. Well, I don't say races. Generation of German biologists, including Alexander von Humboldt. So, anything else you want me to keep reading? Or what else is
No, that's good.
Okay.
You just went over a couple of the points.
Racial anthropology. Bloomberg explored the biodiversity of humans mainly by comparing skull anatomy and skin color. His work included a description of 60 human crania or skulls, published originally in fascicles as Indigenous cranium. This was the founding work for other scientists in the field of how you pronounce that? Craniometry. Okay, thank you. He established the 5-part naming system in 1795 to describe what he called Genius Humana Variectas Quonaprinter species, whatever that means. The French or whatever. In his view, humans could be divided into varieties. Now, this might be important here. Only in his later work, he adapted the term races. But at first, he divided them up, just call them varieties, I guess, which have been introduced by others. But he was aware that a clear separation was difficult. All right? Now, then he goes to the Caucasian or white race. Bloomberg was the first to use this term for Europeans. And also, this white, black, Caucasian, all this is made up. 1795, y'all. 1793. And he also included Middle Easterns. These Middle Easterns and Asians, South Asians was in that same category. Okay? And then when you go.
They were the Mongols.
Okay, well, no, the Mongolians, the yellow race, the Mongols, those are the yellow race. That includes the East Asians. So he differentiated the South Asians and the East Asians. That's right.
My bad.
No, that's all right. I got it right here in front of me. That's why you was close. Then we got so then the Ethiopians or black race, including all sub-Saharan Africans. So what about the Africans that didn't live in the sub-Saharan? What did he call them? That's not on the list.
You remember on the map it said Ethiopia at one time. But you know, we don't want to stick to her. But before we get too far away from that, I want to let you know what Gottingen is, right?
Yeah.
Gottingen is a school of history over there. And it was one of the things that they like to say is they were leading thinkers of the day.
Right.
All right. Now, these are Platonists. Following the Plato. Look up the Platonist school of thought and the academy. The first institution of higher learning in the Western world.
Okay, that was the first institution of higher learning called the Platon.
Plato was a student of Socrates
the Platon,
and a teacher of Aristotle, among other notable students.
Yeah. The Platian school? How you pronounce that?
Plato. It's Platonist.
Yeah, Platonist, like after Plato, right? Named at the end.
Yeah.
So this was the first school of higher learning in the Western Hemisphere. The Platonists.
Yeah.
followers of Plato, including some of the students of Aristotle. And who's the other cat?
Oh, Plato was a student of Socrates.
Okay.
And a teacher of Aristotle.
There you go. See?
Among other notable students.
Plato was a student of Socrates, which was a student of Aristotle. Y'all know what we're talking about. If I got it right.
Yeah, so they're following those teachings. Okay. Yeah. So that's what Gottingen was. So just so we know what that is.
So that's the school of Gottingen. All the philosophies behind Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates, ladies and gentlemen. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, and then we get to Robert Malthus. Now, he was the word about population, and him and Darwin had similar titles in their book. He was Darwin's teacher. And his book was on the population,
Mm-hmm.
and then the origin of the population, something like that. And then Darwin was origin of species. We ain't gonna get Malthus. He was talking about starving people out. He was more about getting rid of us quick, and
doing some of that Margaret. What's her name? Margaret Sanger type stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to her.
She's a follower of him. Sound like to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they're a follower of all this.
Right.
Blumenbach, starting this shit off. I'm going down the line.
Yeah, you start through the history.
Yeah, we're gonna get to her. You ain't got to worry about that.
Okay.
But Malthus was, he was keeping records on, the population. He was worried about population control and all the things that we hear today. The same narrative, like the Bible says. There's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
And I'm gonna read a quote from this racist devil. Okay.
Okay.
It's but first I'm gonna say this. Allies in the pursuit of propagating scientific racism and the white first class narrative, followed by the making of black and other dark-hued people, barbarians, beasts, niggas, Moors, etc., etc., who can't live in their so-called civilization or any other without their help. Okay? Who does that sound like today, JJ?
Say that one more time, family.
Bill Gates, the philanthropist.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about Bill Gates before you even said that because he's also with population control.
Yeah, I'm moving too far ahead, but you gotta remember this narrative has been being pushed.
This is nothing new. This eugenics type
nothing
stuff.
New under the sun.
Right.
That's right. Nothing new under the sun. So here's a quote from this demon. Average Negroes possess too little intellect, self-reliance, and self-control to make it possible for them to sustain the burden of any respectable form of civilization without a large measure of external guidance and support.
Guidance and support from them, y'all. Because Uncle West and them, Uncle West over there at the Armand Rod Squad, this is what they push. The Cedrics and the Uncle Wests and who else they got over there? These cats. I can't think of them are two that I usually deal with. I love them brothers, but they just into their own. They into this doctrine. They into this. They don't know no better. That this come from racists. I don't think they know no better. They didn't read past Go or something. I don't know. What do you think, bro? Do you think they know about this? I think they know, but I'm gonna be honest. I know they know.
I've been told them and beat them.
I told them to.
A couple of times. So
I was trying to save face for them, man. Yeah, they know. Because when I'm battling, I throw it up in their face, and so does indigenous black men. So, but they overlooked that. They said, well, we just eat the meat and spit out the bones, I guess. What that got to do with the science? That's how they look at it. Go ahead,
They use selective sources, scriptures to fit their narrative, but they don't give you the whole story.
Yeah. Karima, you want to share my screen anytime?
It would make them have to change their narrative.
Right. Yeah.
See? And let me finish this Robert Malthus real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Good, get it in.
Right, now there's Thomas Robert Malthus family. Thomas Robert Malthus, Malthus. All right, 1766 to 1834. Okay, he's a pioneer of evolutionary biology. Pioneers of evolutionary biology. Read him notably Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace. Okay.
Alfred Russel Wallace. That's a new one. Let me write his name down. Alfred Russell Wallace. Is that Charles Darwin's name? Who is he?
Yeah, I guarantee you he got something to do with it. I'm just going through the big wigs real quick. But if you look up Alfred Russel Wallace, he's in the programming too. He's a part of the propaganda bullshit too. All right, now Malthus is Alfred Russel Wallace, JJ.
Okay.
All right, now we're talking about Malthus still, okay? Those were his students, okay? Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace. All right, now Malthus first came to prominence for his 1798 publication, an essay on the principle of population. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Darwin has a book similar to that. He has another one too, but that's one of his most popular books. In it raised the question of how population growth related to the economy. Are we still having those discussions today, JJ?
Yeah.
See? History repeating itself. Now we get to the guy that everybody knows about.
Hold on. Don't skip past Alfred Russel Wallace. He is best known for independently conceiving the theory of evolution through natural selection. See, it wasn't even Charles Darwin. This is the father right here, y'all. This is him.
But the founder of it was your boy, Charles Darwin. See? But he was big time in the mix too.
Yeah, what's it? Because it says he's best known for independently. Because it said. Yeah. It said he's best known for independently conceiving the theory of evolution. Through natural selection. Oh, my screen is sharing. Maybe I can show it now. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
So maybe we've been giving Charles Darwin too much credit then, huh?
Yeah, well,
we need to do a little bit of research on that crazy man.
Right. Okay. Keep going, family.
Okay, yeah. All right. Like I said, we'll get to Charles Darwin now. Okay. Now this is an English naturalist, geologist, and biologist. And he's best known, he's best known for, his theory on evolution. He published his theory of evolution in his book, on the origin of species.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And by 1870, the scientific community and majority of the educated public had accepted it as a fact.
So what? 1850, it was a fact?
Okay, let me read it again.
Yeah.
On the origins of species.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get into that here in a second too, but on the origin of species, and by the 1870s, the scientific community and the majority of the educated public had accepted it as a fact. So this is him pushing that monkey-minded nincompoop bullshit.
Right.
We come from some goddamn monkeys.
That's Unc West.
And Unc says he didn't say that. Unc don't know what the hell he's talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna get into that. We'll go over that.
Well, hold up now, because see, out of Unc, Unc was the master monkey teacher, but out of that, ape teacher, but he has a new student has arisen who has arisen and taken over the monkey movement. You know this guy?
Who?
They call him Outside the Cube. Look, I seen this dude one day shut down 3 of them guys. He shut down Mudawa. He shut down Kyle. And then he shut down the master teacher, Unc. He said, we come from monkeys, not apes.
Yeah.
They had monkey wars in the back. I wish I could have recorded it.
He said they had monkey wars.
It was banana and shit thrown all over the goddamn cage that day. I ain't lying. Yeah.
Lancelot Link take the motherfucking wheel. You know what I'm saying? King Kong. Hey, hold up. Wait a minute. Why do they want to be monkeys any fucking way?
Ah, man, you tell me, man.
Don't you know they coons? Look at Chim from Speed Racer.
Well, yeah.
You ain't never seen him.
I seen him. He's a little dude to be riding.
Hold up. Yeah. You ain't seen Chim hug over on a nigga one time.
Damn.
Look at what's it called? Cheetah. Look at
Cheetah. He was Tarzan.
Look.
Bubbles, and only reason Bubbles was with Michael because he was white.
But no, look at Cheetah with Tarzan.
Right.
He would smile and chuckle and buck and chuck for Tarzan, but when Tarzan got to fighting them Africans,
shit,
hollering Ungawa and shit. JJ, Ungawa. That used to make my uncle so mad, JJ. Look, I would turn that shit on. When I went to DC to stay at my grandmother's, I would turn that shit on if I knew he was coming over just to piss him off.
Hold on, watch this. What the hell is that?
When he hollered Ungawa to the motherfucking Africans, I was like, man, come on.
That's that Tarzan year right there, boy.
And then one more. We forgetting the biggest one of all, King Kong.
Yeah.
He would eat the black women.
Damn.
When that white woman got on that motherfucker.
And then they gonna do LeBron like that. Did y'all see the subliminals? You see the subliminals?
I'm gonna tell him you said that shit too.
Did you see that subliminals though? They did LeBron on that cover of Vogue or what was it? And he was like he was King Kong, and he was right there by the white lady holding the white lady. You see that?
That's Jack Johnson shit. That's the Jack Johnson.
That's Jack Johnson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, back in the day, Jack Johnson, the first heavyweight champion, they started that shit with him.
Oh,
he was riding around with a
yeah.
car full of white women and didn't give a fuck.
He did it on purpose to piss him off.
Dared him to say something.
Right, knock your ass out.
But yeah, you know, that's on the origin of species. You know, that 1870s, and they started the 1870s. The scientific community and the majority of the educated public had accepted it as a fact. Wow. Darwin is considered to be one of the third greatest English naturalists of the 19th century.
No way.
Along with Henry Walter Bates and Alfred Russell Wallace. The understanding of nature as an organism and not a mechanism can be traced to the writings of Alexander von Humboldt in 1769 to 1859. Germany polymath, geographer, naturalist, explorer, and proponent of romantic philosophy and science. Look up the Romantic era. That's when they just make shit up, you know, and adding fucking lace to it.
Right.
Yeah, you know, that's why they call it the transatlantic slave trade, because they was trannies when they came over here on the fucking boat. But anyway, let's go a little deeper into Charles Darwin.
Okay.
You know, they had makeup, wigs, capris, and stockings on, JJ. Remember that shit?
Oh, you talking about
the English?
Yeah, with the white makeup on.
With the fake beauty mark on the side of their face.
Yeah, you talking about the Madonna mold?
Yeah, and the lace on their sleeves and the lace.
Yeah, looking like Prince. Yeah.
Evolution first known use in 1616. A scientific theory. Okay. Yeah. It has its origins from New Latin to medieval Latin. You know, they had different meanings. But this is what I mean when they weaponize these terms. Okay. So let's go down. It's borrowed from the New Latin evolution, okay, or evolutio, unfolding a curve in geometry, okay. Going back to medieval Latin, unfolding of a table, lapse of time. Going back to Latin, unrolling a papyrus scroll while reading it. Okay? So this is what it meant before this devil got a hold of it and took the term and weaponized it. And we're going to see this a couple of times in this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So they just take the term and they use it and weaponize it, and then they go against us with it, okay? And Darwin came from a long family of scientists. His father was Dr. R.W. Darwin. He was a medical doctor, and his grandfather was Dr. Eramus Darwin, and was a renowned botanist. Darwin's mother, Susanna, died when he was 8 years old. Naturalist and biologist Charles Darwin is best known for his theory of evolution and the process of natural selection.
Yeah, let me build with you on that little part right quick, because Darwinism can be refuted, right? The essence of the Darwinism argument on origins is that random mutations, y'all, listen to this, random mutations, random changes in DNA acted upon by environment over enormous expanses of time led to minute advancements in an organism that eventually added up to a wholesale changes in complete systems and morphologies. Everybody, look, the essence of the design argument is that a design system would cease functioning if one of several component parts were missing, and so gradual minute alterations could not lead to a fully functional complex system. Try as you might, no evolutionary theorist has yet been able to explain adequately how a watch, an eye, or healing skin as system of irreducible complexity might be produced without a designer. Go ahead, bro. I just threw a little caviar in there. Go ahead.
Ain't no problem. Yep. And see, you don't have enough time for all this to happen in the time that it was, it was given. Because just to change it, let me give you a perfect example, because I ain't gonna go too deep into that because it's retarded bullshit. But in evolution, a four-legged mammal, like a fox or a dog, jumped into the ocean and became a whale. Now, do you know?
Yeah, because you know what they, you know what they.
Do you know how many wait a minute, JJ. Do you know how many variables and probabilities it would take for that to happen?
Right. Because I said the whales was on. Oh, but you. No. But tell them what happened. The whales was on land first. Remember? Tell them that part. They say the whales started off on land first.
That's what I said. The whale started off as a four-legged mammal that jumped into the water and became a whale.
Their legs fell off.
Listen, that would be like dropping a Volkswagen into the ocean and waiting for it to become a submarine.
Come on, man. Speak on it.
Do you know how many probabilities would have to happen? Do you know how many things that would have to happen that added up in its favor for that to take process?
Right.
And you wouldn't even have enough time for that to happen in those 10 million years. For our legs to turn into a tail fluke, it would take like 100 million years. So they tripping. But anyway, that's Darwin. Now, what I wanted to get to was his book is titled The Origin of Species Today.
Right.
But at the beginning, when it was written, it was called On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life.
Long
now let me ask you a question. How in the hell is it natural selection if it's also the preservation of favored races? And one more question. If it is the preservation of favored races, who is the one doing the choosing?
Right.
Natural selection. Yeah, right. This is a race, is what it's saying. In the struggle for life.
Right.
So that's basically what he's saying. Now, if origin defines race, then we are all human. It's as simple as that. And Unc likes to say that Darwin never said that we were monkeys and shit like that. Well, let me give you a quote from this guy, okay? Will man, however well behaved, at best is but a monkey shaved. I wish you had a bomb. Let me say that once again, so that he don't forget it. Man, however well behaved, at best is but a monkey shaved.
Damn. They like that.
All right. And then,
what is it again? Say it one more time.
One more time? I don't know if they... Man, however well behaved, at best is but a monkey shaved.
There you go.
Charles Darwin. And Charles Darwin says the evolution of the human race will not be accomplished in 10,000 years of tame animals, but in the million years of wild animals, because man is always and will be a wild animal. Now, another quote from him is, I do not believe, as we shall presently see, that our dogs have descended from any one wild species. But in the case of some other domestic races, there is presumption or even strong evidence in favor of this view. He might have said that when he was dying, because it sounds like he's trying to say that all men come from one people.
Yeah.
And that. But, yeah, okay. Now, I got some questions. If evolution takes tens of millions of years, even hundreds of millions of years,
right,
this happened, how did man evolve in 10,000 years? And if the Homo sapiens has been around for about 200,000 years, the genus Homo about 2.5 million years, and the line leading to human split not enough time for all that to happen. Because according to Mr. Darwin, it takes millions of years for this to happen.
Right.
Another bomb. Anyway, now we done with that devil. Everybody get a listen in on what he did. All right, now we're going to Galton. This is the man who created eugenics.
What's his name? Dalton?
Yes. Francis Galton.
Francis Galton. All right.
Yes. Okay, now this is Darwin's first cousin.
I bet it is. Damn. Keep it in the
Darwin's
family.
first cousin.
Right.
Okay. And let's see here. And yeah, he was the one who created eugenics. Okay. This was the program that the Nazis took and held so high. Even inspired Hitler to write the book Mein Kampf off of Francis Galton's eugenics here in America. Now, he was an Englishman, but he came to America and started promoting the eugenics program. And this was the quelling of the black races to mate and letting the white race mate so that they could catch up, because they knew back then that they were falling off. You see? And this is the guy, you know, he weaponized the term eugenics, because at first it just meant better health. All right? But then he took it, you know, and used it, and his teachings even influenced Hitler to start his sterilization programs over in Germany.
Right.
So everybody thinks Hitler was the first one to start that shit. No. This was started in Virginia by Francis Galton.
Right here in America.
Yep. And the sterilization programs, you know, talking about the unfit. This is when the unfit, havotype, the havotype, you know, we hear about that shit. He was working with that shit, you know, and I mean, he was saying that he could breed out unfitness in 3 generations. Have you ever seen, what is it, the rabbit fits?
No, speak on.
The Rabbit Fence is a movie where they were doing that exact thing. I can't remember exactly where it was. I think it was Australia or Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might have been Australia. I think it was Australia. And it was a rabbit fence that went, it was Australia. It went all the way across Australia so you could follow it. And the girls got captured into slavery by the British, and they were taken into schools to make them into, more like British people.
Right.
And they liked the light-skinned ones because they would marry them off, and these two girls got away and walked that rabbit fence all the way home. I mean, maybe 1,000 miles, something like that.
Yeah.
And got away and got back home.
Right.
See, but they were doing that back then with the schools. They were, taking them, and they liked the light-skinned ones better. But what was happening was those soldiers was having babies with the natives, and when they did, they would take them, and then they would try to keep mixing them with with theirs, so that they would become white.
Right.
And they were saying, like I said, that they could breed out unfitness in 3 generations.
Hmm.
See?
What do they mean by unfitness?
Yeah, and they, selecting parents to have the kids.
Oh yeah.
Saying
Okay.
unfit people wasn't. So and
that was Hitler and them doing that, right?
Started that.
Hitler.
Huh?
Hitler was doing that, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, the brown hair, blue eyed narrative.
There you go. Yep.
No Jews, because he knew they, if they was really Jews, that they had mixed blood in them.
Right.
You see? So, Hitler. This inspired Hitler and his movement for the cleansing of the Jews and the blacks and anybody else that he chose, unfit. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that guy. Now that's Darwin's cousin. First cousin, Francis Galton. He's only 12 years younger than Darwin.
Yeah, okay.
And then we get to Margaret Singer.
She coming on the When's she coming on? 1900, 1920s, 30s? What? 30s, ain't it?
She was like she was around since 1920. She had her first clinic in Brownsville, New York.
Okay, that's in the hood. That's in the hood.
That's right. And she was the one. Sanger admired the eugenics program. See, the eugenics program we were just talking about going right. And the eugenics program. Now Sanger admired the eugenics program of Nazi Germany, and it was well known. In 1933, the Birth Control Review, which is her paper.
There you go.
Published eugenic sterilization.
There you go. I know it was in the 30s. I said 1930. Yeah.
Well, this is she was messing around in the early 1900s, but you got to remember she started giving the abortions to white women first, and it was usually the rich ones who would come and have it done. Right. It was during the Great Depression too, so. But there were people in the alleys giving abortions too, so, but she said she would help out with that. But they ran her out of America because the ones who was going to get abortions more was the white women, and the husbands found out, and they ran her into Germany, where she started up a program over there, and then she came back here, and that's when the Negro Project started initially here, right? Okay, so in 1933, the Birth Control Review published Eugenic Sterilization, an Urgent Need by Ernest Rudin. Eugenic sterilization. We know that during the sterilization movement in America, there was like 60,000 people sterilized.
How many?
In America.
How many?
60,000.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And now Ernest Rudin was Hitler's director of genetic sterilization and a founder of the Nazi Society for Racial Hygiene. Now this is who Margaret Singer is pen paling with.
Right.
Her and Galton and all them, and Rudin and all them pen paling. In her praise for eugenics programs in Germany, Sanger called for the implementation of such programs in the United States, specifically targeting African Americans. The following edition was published in the 1932 issue of the Birth Control Review. If any questions should remain about Sanger's races, here are a 1933 letter she wrote to Dr. Clarence Gamble. You should remove all doubt. She writes, we should hire 3 or 4 colored ministers, preferably with social service backgrounds and with engaging personalities. The most successful educated approach to the Negro is through religious appeal. We don't want the Negro, hold on. We don't want the Negro we don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population.
Damn.
And ministers is the man who can straighten out the idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members like me.
You say the ministers?
Yes. Messy Jesse.
Messy Jesse.
Jakes.
Alsha.
Al 254 for 80-year-old guy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, come on, man. And then it evolved into using the sports stars, the nationalism, and then the rock and rollers. You worshiping them, and then the media and all that stuff. But let's not get too far off. Birth control is not this is Margaret Singer talking, okay? Birth control is not contraception indiscriminately and thoughtlessly practiced. It means the release and cultivation of the better racial elements in our society and the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extirpation of defective stocks. The human weeds, let me say it again, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization.
Damn. Human weeds.
Now let's go to the word extirpate that she used. It means, because they say that she never said she wanted to pull us up by the roots, right? That's what they say. Extirpate. To destroy totally, kill off. To render absent or non-existent. Synonym, eliminate. To pull up by the roots. Chauvinism at its finest. Unwarranted bias, and chauvinism is unwarranted bias, favoritism, or devotion to one's own particular group, cause, idea, gender, or kind. So a male is not the only one that can be a chauvinist.
Right.
Okay. Now, abortion has pitted mother against their child and women against men. It has sown violence and discord at the heart of the most intimate relationships. Mother Teresa. That's what Mother Teresa said. I'll read it again. Abortion has pitted mothers against the children,
right,
and women against men.
True.
It has sown violence and discord at the heart of the most intimate relationships. Husband and wife, father and son, mother and, it's like that. Okay. And some of the people that was helping her was like the Seventh-day Adventist Church abortion industry.
Okay. The Seventh-day Adventist was helping her?
They was having, even in the Catholic churches, they was having that type of stuff going on, man.
Right.
It gets deep. You just look into it. But then after her, I had on the list Sigmund Freud. Now this is the man who come in. He was born to Ashkenazi Jewish from Galicia. parents in the Moravian town of Freiburg and the Austrian Empire. He was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis. We go to get psychoanalyzed when we go to the psychiatrist.
Right.
Medical method of treating psychopathology through dialogue between a patient and a psychoanalysis. Right? Now he was the guy who subliminal messages, drugs. He was using drugs and having sex with his patients, and was like the start of the psychological movement, where psychology, or just like messing with the mind, messing with your mind. All right, and that he was here in America with that shit, and he was also a Hebrew. He went to a Hebrew college.
Damn.
And then we get to Edwin Bernays. All right, now, Edwin Bernays is the one who created the term propaganda. So he's the one who taught these cigarette companies in America how to sell their shit on television and make everybody want it. When you see a hamburger or a big McDonald's,
right,
they show their hamburgers on that mother.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to run and go get one.
Yeah.
Subliminal messaging too.
Right.
Yeah, subliminal messaging, all that shit. That was him. So the programming is real. These people are real. What they did was real. And that's all you have to do is look them up. And they act like that, scientific racism doesn't exist. And I just went down the list of the most scientific racist motherfuckers on the planet.
Right. What about that witch, Vorkovich? What's her name?
Abramovich?
Yeah, Madam Bablakovich. You know what I'm talking about?
Was she with like the Crowley movement and all
Yeah,
that?
yeah, her. Theosophical movement, or her. She part of that movement too.
Yeah, the Devil Bible and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, and the only law that they have is do as thou wilt.
It's the whole of the law.
You can do whatever the hell you want to in their religion.
Yep.
And guess what? That shows you got free will right there, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
When you talking about free will in this community, I mean, how could the devil do what he did if he didn't have free will? How could Adam and Eve do what they did if they didn't have free will?
Right.
How could the masses that came against Jerusalem, like Titus or Pompey or Herod or any of those people, how could they do what they did if they didn't have free will? It's just fucking retarded. But anyway, J. Edgar Hoover. All right, J. Edgar Hoover was a director, was 1895 to 1972. Hoover directed his agents to prevent militant black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability and discrediting them to the white community. Now, this is a quote from him. Let me read that again, though, because I think Hoover directed his agents to prevent militant black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability and discrediting them. The guy that said that, there won't be another black messiah unless we create him.
Right.
One more time. There won't be another black messiah unless we create him.
Yeah.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
Sport, yeah, them the type of messiahs they create for us.
Michael Jordan is not a LeBron James. He's not a Wilt Chamberlain. He's not a Bill Russell. He's taking advantage, still making money hand over fucking foot. Now, I seen Bill Russell and all them stand up and, maybe, it wasn't the best that they could do, but they did something. I have never seen Michael blacks and whites through subliminal messaging and psychoanalysis, propagandizing. All right. Okay. All right. The division. Using division. I say division is an age-old weapon used like the lines on a map. You know how the lines on the map divide us, JJ? That's the type of division that we're dealing with. All right, now, using the age-old tactic, pitting black against white through subliminal messaging, psychoanalysis, propaganda, and by any means necessary. All right? Mm-hmm. So that was J. Edgar Hoover.
Right.
And then...
What you got next?
Here's a SCOTUS case. You remember the SCOTUS case? They said it's been protecting us for 60 years, and now they're going after it.
No.
Free speech and stuff, free press today. All right, let me read it to you. Right. New clash over civil rights and free speech at high court. All this started with the Ku Klux Klan coordinating with the Alabama officials to crack down on civil rights protesters in the early 1960s. State vigilante violence waged ruthlessly against the black citizens and specifically against black protesters. And then this official, L.B. Sullivan, used official power and protested against the protesters. He used official power against protesters. The protesters, in response at the time, was speech. So they wrote down words. Okay, and you can look up you don't have to look it up. I'm just saying this is a part of my paper. Yeah. Look up the New York Times, and the article was called "Heed Their Rising Voices." Heed their rising voices. This is what the black protesters and the protesters wrote in the New York Times. So they're using their words to fight against L.B. Sullivan. They brought ad space in the New York Times criticizing how the officials there, working with the Ku Klux Klan, was trying to treat Martin Luther King Jr. These citizens and activists were just people, no real fact checkers, no real fact checking process, and got some of their points incorrect. And L.B. Sullivan seized on that and sued them for alleged libel. He lost. They won the Supreme Court case. But it shows how state and KKK were one and the same at this time. Now, the landmark SCOTUS ruling on libel is NYT versus Sullivan, 1964. Now, it's been protecting us for 60 years, but today they're trying to overturn it, The consequences I don't think any of us fully understand. Now, let me explain a little bit what I understand. All right, in the USA, we have burden of plaintiff to prove defamation, okay? In the UK, it's burden of defendant to prove they didn't defame. Okay, so it's up to you to prove that you know. So making England a popular place for the wealthy to legally mess with their critics. Vladimir Putin is a perfect example of that over there. But they would change it to where we would have to prove in court instead of, the plaintiff proving that we did something.
Yeah.
We would have to prove that we didn't do nothing.
Oh, the defendant would have to prove that the defendant is guilty and to prove innocent over there.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
That's what they're trying to do when they're trying to overturn this landmark SCOTUS ruling on libel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See? So, and that's basically all that I have on that.
I got your video up.
I didn't,
I got the Apostle video. Are you saying something different than that?
Oh, no. I just wanted to go over, that. So, because, you had Unkh's name in the thing, and, I ain't really going at Brother Unc, but this is the shit that needs to be out there.
Right.
And I don't know why they ain't saying it, but I don't care. I will. And because it needs to be told. If people in the community really stop believing this bullshit and to, allowing these people to tell us who we are, how to live, and where we come from.
Right.
Because they're demons and they don't have our best interest at heart. As you fight for socialism and nationalism and capitalism, I'm gonna tell you, JJ. Remember where you heard this. The definition of an ism is a theory and a belief at the same time.
You can believe it. You can believe in that.
Pull that up, JJ. ISM.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ism.
Okay. Definition of ism. Distinctive practice.
Go to the Merriam-Webster, and it gives you synonyms with it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We go to the Merriam-Webster. Distinctive. Hold up. Pull it up. A distinctive doctrine, cause, or theory, an oppressive and especially discriminatory attitude or belief.
Tell me that ain't true. I don't give a shit what they say. You tell me that's not true in the chat. You tell me there's a strong belief that God does not exist. But they swear that they, doing the right thing, and that's atheism. If you look up atheism, some of the archaic definitions for it is wickedness. And wickedness and unholiness.
Woo! But they're gonna say, yeah, that comes from a believer though.
No, that comes from Merriam-Webster. That comes from the dictionary. That comes from the people that that wrote these fucking words. Because they all have origins.
Yeah.
Ain't none of them ancient as time. You're using these modern terms that was given to you by these fucking devils.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad you showed everybody what an ism is now, so we stop using the isms. You feel me?
Yeah.
Anytime you hear the word ism, just laugh and then tell them, look up the definition. Okay? That's all you got to do. Capitalism, nationalism. In capitalism, you have to have a lower slave class to exist. So these wannabes in here who talk about nationalism or capitalism, who is going to be your slave class when you create your capitalist society? See what I'm saying, JJ?
Yeah.
They using terms, throwing them out there like they just so smart, all don't know their asshole from a hole in the ground. Where's my bomb? But anyway,
I got out my bomb.
One more, JJ. Look up jingoism.
Okay.
Jingoism. This is the last thing I'll ask you, to look up for, Or no, there's one more, just natural, because I wanted to go for natural selection. I wanted to show you the synonyms of it, but go ahead and look up jingoism first.
It's nationalism in the form of aggressive and proactive foreign policy, such as a country advocacy for the use of threats or actual force, as opposed to peaceful relations. In efforts to safeguard what it perceives as its natural interest, colloquially, what you call it, jingoism is
yeah,
is excessive bias in judging one's own, hold up, it's bias, y'all. Hold up, let me pull it up our way. In judging one's own country as superior to others. That's the American way over there. That's how they think over here. Jingle.
An extreme form of nationalism.
Well, then
Jingle unchained.
Hey, you know, listen to this. Well, all that energy is at the Olympics. They should call it the Jingoism Awards. Because they all think that their country is superior. Right?
Yeah. But see, they got you thinking that too, though, JJ.
Yeah.
That's what nationalism is all about. They started that shit back in the day when they started adding the national anthem to the sports shows.
Yeah.
Or when the guy created the national anthem, they had the kids singing it in school first, and then they added it into the major sports events later in the 60s and 70s, you know. And everybody stand up saying the Pledge of Allegiance and all that shit. And that means that you would die, or you would go for your country. You would fight for your country quicker than you would fight for your own.
Well, yeah. I
Got
guess
you so wrapped up in the country and nationalism, nationalism, national with an ism added to it. So they got you wanting to fight for America before you even worry about you and yours.
Right.
And like I said, but we have people in this community who still bringing up these terms and acting like they want to be. This is what it should be, and this is how it should be. Fighting for the fucking country that oppressed you and continues to oppress you to this day. Over your own. But I digress. Look up natural, JJ. Natural. And look at Merriam-Webster. And then go down to where it says synonyms. Because I want everybody to hear this shit.
What am I looking up?
Natural. You know, like natural selection?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to look up the word natural.
Afro. So Afro.
Natural is Afro.
Come on, man. Remember?
Oh yeah.
What's a natural definition?
Remember when Richard Pryor he was doing that with the mud bones, and he said, "What's wrong with your natural?"
Yeah.
He was talking to Dracula.
Blackula.
Yes, sir.
What was wrong with his natural? Was it blowback? What was going on with it? I forgot that part. But
he said, you ugly motherfucker. He said, I gotta be home by dark. He's like, yeah, you gotta be home by dark because the cops see your ass, they gonna arrest you.
Yeah, he was heating Blackula ass up. All right.
The drunk, fucking even drunk don't care who they mess with. They even fuck with Dracula, and then he went into that spiel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you got natural up.
Yep. Has several meanings depending on the context. It can mean something.
Go down to the synonyms.
Oh, okay.
That's below, the definitions. If you go to the synonyms,
You go to Merriam-Webster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Synonyms of natural, based on the inherent sense of right and wrong, being in accordance with or determined by nature, having or constituting a classification based on features existing in nature. Is this what we're looking for? Or?
No, those are the definitions.
Where you want that? Okay, it had it under.
I want you to go down to where it says synonyms.
Oh, okay, yeah, right here. The words like it. Okay, hold on. All right. The synonym and an adjective would be born or congenial. Now, a noun would be, it says airhead, bonehead, chucklehead, headhead, fathead, knucklehead, moron, Nimrod.
No sound. People saying no sound.
Huh?
In the chat, Hazel saying no sound.
Yeah.
Looking at
Huh?
You say, Kareem?
yeah, he fell off a little bit, but we hear you now. Go.
Oh, y'all hear me? Okay. Bird brain,
Well, how much did they miss, Karima?
airhead, bonehead, chucklehead, clot, cretin, deadhead, dip, donkey, dumbbell, dummy, fathead, goof, hammerhead, ignoramus, know nothing, loggerhead, lunkhead, moron, Nimrod. Hey Lex, you're a natural. Lex. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, Nimrod. See, I mean, you know, and this is the game that they play with us in the words of AJ. Can I ask for one more before you show the video? Just one more, brother. Just one more.
Yeah, man.
I promise. That's it.
Go ahead.
Stratagem.
No, wait.
S-T-R.
I'll get ready to say it now. Come on, you gonna spell it. S-T-R what? A-T-H-E-E-M.
Stratagem.
E-M?
Yeah.
E-M. Okay, let me see. All right. The word you have entered is in the dictionary. Maybe I spelled it wrong. S-T-R-A-T-E-E-M or E-E-M?
T-E-G.
Oh, okay. All right, hold on.
It might be S-T-R-A-T.
S-T-R-A-T.
Yeah. Strat.
Mm-hmm.
A-G-E-M.
All right. Is a clever scheme. We're going sometime one that's part of an overall strategy. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. The word stratagem entered English in the 15th century and was originally used in the reference to some artifice, such as a military plan or maneuver, which was designed to deceive or outwit the enemy. This military sense can be tracked back to the word's Greek ancestor, strategemia, which is in itself based on the stratagem, meaning to act as a general. Stratagem in turn comes from strategos, meaning general, which comes from stratos, camp or army, and hygiene, to lead. Strategos is the ancestor of strategy as well. You want synonyms? Or
you can give us synonyms.
Okay, fetch, gimmick. This is stratagem, device, jig, play, scheme, trick, dodge, gamblet, juggle, ploy, shenanigans. Wow. W-I-L-E.
Yes, now see this. Now the word stratagem is a in war. If we're talking about war, stratagem is a tactic used with the mind instead of firepower.
Mm-hmm. You're right. scheme. You know, you scheming.
How they do it today.
Hold up. Flim flam was one of the goddamn dictionaries. Definitions. Flim flam shenanigans.
You see what I mean? So that's what they use, JJ. They use this strategy of stratagem of scientific racism to go at our minds, so they wouldn't have to use firepower.
Right.
They even use the public schools and stuff like that to do it too. All this programming we get for 13 years of our life from kindergarten to 12th grade. Not unless you fail, and you might have to stay a couple more years than that. But they have you at your most influential times of your life, from like 5 years old, 4 years old till you're 18.
Yeah.
Programming the hell out of you how to be a good subservient nationalist who's ready to fight for his country and obey the laws. Go along with their civilization. That's what they're programming you to do. Just like the Prussians who created this bullshit back in 1860s, 1800s. That's where we get our public school system designed from. Is the Prussians, which is now Germany.
Right.
But it was called Prussia back then. All right. So yeah, okay, Jay, I'm done. Sorry about that, man.
All right, brother. I enjoyed it. What you sorry for, bro? It's the first time here. I've been trying to get you to come up here for the longest. Y'all get in the ring. I appreciate the presentation. So, did you want to show your video? What time is it? Did you want to show your video? Oh, you'll do that another time.
How long we been going?
I can't see. Hold up.
Oh, that's all right.
How long been
If you want to show, if you want to show, I'm down. I mean, you know.
Okay, Miss Kareem, are you tired? I got Miss She. We've been up all day. Sister Kareem, are you there? She probably stepped away. She said something?
Okay.
What she say? That was her? No, she's
here.
Oh, I said, are you tired?
No, what's going on?
Oh, he want to play his video what he did on Apostle. Sure. You sure?
Right.
We sure.
How long?
Just let me know if you get tired, and then we'll do a part two too.
Yeah, we can always cut it off whenever you want to, sis. Because I appreciate you and JJ for letting me do this.
All right, hold on. Let me see.
to it and pull names off and do whatever you want to with it. Because I don't care. I'm just trying to put the truth out there.
All right, we back on, man. Go ahead and turn this off. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, we back on, family. Let me see, I think. Kareem, we're gonna go ahead and close out.
Yeah, we back on.
All right. Okay. There we go. All right, Indigenous Black man, I appreciate you, brother, man, coming through and dropping that knowledge, that history of scientific racism. It's very important to us because we have people in our community who pushes this doctrine, you know, and I don't know if they know the history behind it, the people, the wicked people behind it, the Margaret Stangers and the eugenics and, you know, stuff like that, man. That affects us. You know, stuff like with the Tuskegee experiment and stuff like that, man. So
But don't forget about the Negro Project.
Right.
That's you know, the sterilization and all that stuff, and they're trying to use the ministers, and they're saying that they're going to use the ministers against us. You know, and then you see it in action today. Look at Kurt Franklin's pussy ass.
Damn. Right.
I heard him singing a song. He said the lion will lay down to the goat. Who's the lion, JJ?
The lion will lay down to the goat.
Who's the lamb and the lion, JJ?
The lamb is Christ.
He's the lamb for our sacrifices, and he's the lion of Judah.
Right. He said the goat.
Huh?
He said the goat. He said the goat.
He said the lion and the lamb will lay down for the goat.
Oh wow.
The Baphomet.
The Baphomet, right? Yeah.
And let's talk about him for a second. The Baphomet has breasts and a male
Penis.
organ.
Right.
So the reason why he's being promoted out here today is because of the agenda that's being pushed out here today. Think about it.
Right.
He is male and female organs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's why you hear a lot about the goat out here. The goat. The goat. I'm the goat. Well, you can be the goat, nigga. I'm a lamb. You know, I'm a lamb or a lion. You got all that goat shit. You know. So that's just, and that, you know, just like the worship. Why do our people worship the bulls and cows so much throughout history? Baal was a bull. Molech was a bull. The golden calf. Huh, JJ? You know, and then over in the Olympics, they had the woman riding this 30-foot beast. And she looked like the you know how they say the woman in scarlet with all the blasphemies across her forehead?
Yeah.
That's what she looked like. And then the actors that were around this bull bowed down to it. It was the games, not the Olympics. What's the games, like the lower games that are right below the Olympics?
The World Cup, World Games. What?
Yes, something like, I think it's the World Games, and that's when they did it. It was over in England. It was over in England, yeah. So you can look that up. You know, they got the Scarlet Witch riding on the beast coming into the damn arena, and then they bowing down to the beast. The actors. This was all a performance. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer, y'all. I appreciate y'all. And
are you watching
like
this? Can you watch this on TV, or how do you watch it?
How do I watch
the show? Can you watch the show? You be watching it?
Oh yeah. You know, I'll be in the.
You be in the chat. That was one. Or you be on your. What do you do from your? Watch it from your phone, there. Right?
Huh?
You watch it from your. You watch it from your phone?
No. I'm watching from my smart TV.
Smart. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, tomorrow, whenever you want to come back, You can come back and we can go over the apostle video that you did. And what's the topic on that one?
Okay, that way I can get a chance to go over it and, cut out any of the, extracurricular talk, so maybe edit it a little bit, just get to the point, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I really appreciate this, and I'll definitely be coming back on dealing with free will. That's another topic that I'm going to get on.
We got a debate on that topic. You know that, don't you? Coming up June 10th. Was it 4 o'clock? Wait a minute. Let me get the time right. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Who was that? Oh man, Neo Love. Was it Neo? Let me get my paper, man. Dang.
Well, if you want me to talk about that after,
Neo and Bosco.
do that. I don't have to talk.
Yeah, can you do it afterwards, man? Because
I don't want to mess up the debate or get in the way of that.
Yeah, it's called Free Will or Predestination. And that is with Bosco Malik Hoover. Bosco Malik Assad Hoover from the famous Larry Hoover family. That's Larry's nephew. Bosco Hoover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Will be going against Neo the One, aka Neo Love. Lions in the building, artist. You know what I'm saying? He made a few songs for Sarnetta and Black Jesus Minister. The boy got some good music. I don't care about sharing his music.
He's multi-talented, ain't he? He's multi-talented.
Yeah, he played instruments. So he has made songs for all 3 of these platforms. And so y'all check him out on Sandpit Records, all one word, Sandpit Records. You can hear his music on Black Jesus Radio Ministries, the Godzilla song, and you can hear him on Sarnetta TV. I plugged him up with them guys. That's what JJ do. With that being said, Kareem, hey, we up out of here. Let's get up out of here with one of the songs, and y'all come back because tomorrow I'll be setting up another preliminary. I'm going through my list as we speak. When I get off the phone, and I'm gonna go back to work because that's what I do. That peace and blessing.
Yes,
thank y'all for the support. Peace and blessing.
Keep your head high and your grass low.
Right. Peace.
Peace.
I want you and that young man to tie that knot. I'm gonna pray for you. And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yeah.
It's the
He
old
helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped get off the island.
Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to the children? Why you lying to the children? RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been to bed. Man, they know they no contest. Yahuwah, he do the blitz. We will not see you tomorrow. Cause you cannot go to thought. All the sons and all the daughters. Standing hard with big manodas. By my son, he made me Taurus. On that line, I'm still a Taurus. Karate kicking Chuck Norris, 4-5 on my waist. If he started, will not hesitate to get retarded. Oh lordy, he ain't got a PowerPoint, he farted. He threw into the hills like a Philistine. Jihad hitting Hamites with the guillotine. Situation turned up with the ratchet team. JJ 7000 to the debate league. Yeah, I know them haters gon' hate me, but he won't debate me. Pistol off safety. He respond, come wake me. If I don't get up, nigga shake me. If he don't show up, then he fake G. I touch down and make these nigga nuts hate me. Dear brother. Balling and crawling all the way from H-Time. Let me get straight to the business. Man, them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? You gon' cry, you gon' get it. Me, I'm like a frog, nigga, ribbit. Of course, it's in the spirit. I just got the Porsche, she can steer it. Mito got the raw, Shaq and Willie. Lamborghini doors, you better not spill it. Mama's high, say I'm more than just a villain. Mama's cry, armed open wide for her children. Suicide, immortalized as the realest, yeah. Death by cop, black suicide. Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Yeah. Why you lying to them children? Yeah. R-I-G-H-T-E-O-U-S. Yeah. Man, you know I been there. Yeah. Man, they know they no contest. Yeah. Yahuwah, you get it. Yeah. Wow, what's that? Why didn't take it over? Number one debate league, you heard me? When it's up, it's stuck. I'm stepping on everything, nigga. Metaphorically, of course.
Yeah. Blessings. Be safe, everybody. We love you. We out.